You definitely don't want to overcomplicate things with this draft here if you are Motivate.Trust. That game one, it didn't really feel like they were... it didn't really feel like a team, right? Like, it wasn't very coordinated in that first game. And of course, they have only kind of formed this team on very short notice. So, in fact, a lot of the teams in BTS Pro Series 4 kind of have formed teams on very short notice. So it's kind of to be expected that they look a bit weak right now, but as time goes on, I imagine we should see them kind of getting to it and getting used to each other. Vice Esports, they do go for the Lich pickup now, so that'll be the Pos 5 there with the Lifestealer. Nice little kind of strong combination with that Frost Shield as well as the Lifesteal. It just does mean that he can just kind of run at you with that added slow and defense and just hit away. Be quite nice in the laning stage for this Lifestealer. Motivate.Trust. They'll respond with a Clockwork.
This is I mean, you've got this Clockwork Mars combination, right? Cogs into Spear, easy setup for yourself for the team. You've got this long range reach now with a Clockwork as well. So you've got the hook shot that can help you gap close, help you get control. I don't know, it's a bit awkward having Clockwork Warlock as a support duo. That's my main concern here. Like, on paper, Mars Clock, strong lane. Warlock +1, strong lane. But Warlock plus Clockwork as support duos, rather limiting in what they can do for each other and limiting in what they can do roaming around as a pair. So we'll just have to see what MG.Trust has in mind for that. It is just out of the norm, and Vice Esports, they go with something again lined up with the norm. LC comes out with a Lich, with a Lina. You've got some burst potential here. The Frost Armor does work in the LC as well, just as well. So once you start running around the duels, it's going to help massively with all this magic damage they've got flowing in here. And I think Vice Esports, it's a lot simpler for draft. It doesn't have as much of team fight control. Their biggest team fight spell is Chain Frost, and their biggest control is Light Strike Array, which is not the widest, but again, we've seen it in game one. They didn't have the biggest team fight spells there as well, but they still managed to run them down.
Absolutely. Motivate, they do have two cores to show us, both the mid lane and the safe lane now. Plenty of time to have a think about this. Of course, a lot of position ones were banned out, so it does seem like Vice are very focused in on making sure Savage does not have a good game. We know Savage does tend to like playing those position ones that aren't currently in the meta. I could see him picking up something like a Jug here, maybe even a Terrorblade, Naga Siren. As much as I don't want to see it, I can imagine Savage asking for these kind of picks to be made. They may opt to go for the Fearless Hero first. Generally, they'll leave his hero tool last. I'm expecting a Savage hero right now. Just a matter of what, though.
It's a bit strange. The PA comes out, so we're seeing the PA against the Lifestealer, but at the same time, the PA already has the Lina and Lich to worry about. So in terms of magic damage, Vice is actually already covered. Especially once that Lina hits 6, PAs don't tend to enjoy a BKB rush. So Vice does have some options in kind of dealing with the PA. Savage just needs to have a really good lane. Warlock plus PA's lane, it's got some potential to play aggressive if they want to. We'll just see what exactly MG.Trust is going to be laning against. It should be LT plus Lina, so probably not the best lane to be too aggressive for MG.Trust. We'll see what Savage's game plan is. Again, he had a rough time in game 1. Gonna have to find that steady farm here. Does not want the Battle Fury slowing down. He's gonna need to build into BKB as well. I'd say second item's not too bad. You're probably gonna look to delay it until a third item pickup. So they need to buy some space out in MG.Trust to get that timing out.
Sure.
10 seconds remain.
Tell you what, John, this we're really gonna fix that camera for you tomorrow. It's you've been doing the robot for quite a while now. It's I mean, it's amusing from my perspective, I suppose. Very choppy stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up. I'm gonna have to look for a different solution for a webcam. Still Vice Esports, they kick the Kunkka. MG.Trust do have the Quap. So that's the team fight solution here for MG.Trust, right? Like, they've got the Quap with a lot of AoE damage coming through, can really play well with Mars, can really play really well with their Warlock Fatal Bonds. I think MG.Trust has tied their draft in enough to get that done. Vice Esports, for their part, they've got such a great tanky frontliner in the Lifestealer and Legion Commander. Bob's Kunkka, and the control the Kunkka brings here with the X is enough to make it very hard for Fearless to go in and out. Even Savage, right? The PA does not enjoy getting X marked up because you do want to blink out sometimes. And this just ensures some control for Vice. So it's going to be an interesting back and forth. I think MG.Trust does have a better draft in game one. You know, the IO Gyro really just fell flat. This time around, there's a lot more room for them to dance around, to get some space going. And they should be able to bring a better fight to Vice, but I think Vice has all their bases covered. Like this late PA pickup into that same Samael Lina with the burst damage it already has. It's just so hard for Savage if Samael actually gets off to a really good start here.
Does this draft make you feel more confident though than the last one for Motivate.Trust? I remember when we saw the IO Gyro, we were kind of like, oh, you know, it didn't feel very, very good. This time around, it sounds like you're more confident in what Motivate has.
Yep, for sure. Like, it's not as bewildering as IO Gyro in 2020. This is definitely something they can find space in. It's something that they can get some farm going. I think Savage is comfier on heroes like the PA. These are heroes that has very well-defined farming patterns and very well-defined power spikes with item pickups. Whereas the Gyro was, you know, it's a steady ramp up with a Gyrocopter. Like, he got his Ags, he got his Manta. That's just not enough. You need a little bit more. And PA is not the same. You get Battle Fury, it's just farm up. You get Desolator, you're suddenly online. And you get the BKB, you're invulnerable for at least 10 minutes. So we'll see if Savage can hit those timings. It's going to be important for him to do so. Vice, just looking for them to get the same results from their lanes. And Ryu on the LC, it's not the same as the Slardar Lina. The LC Lina is just not as scary. So it's more down to Samael to zone them out here in the top lane. And we'll see if he can get that work done. I think a lot is riding on this Lina to find some pretty decent levels early on.
Sure. Vice, it's not the same sort of draft, right, as well. They had a TA Drow kind of lineup last time around. It is very snowbally, whereas this one, it is going to kind of test them a bit, I feel, up against Motivate.Trust to see if they can make this kind of draft work. And only time's going to tell. I mean, I just can't doubt them after their first game performance.
Yeah, they played out of their minds, I think. It's something that MG.Trust really has to respect. There were so many times they were running down bot. Savage just kept coming back in to try to punish right after dying, but it never worked out. I think they've got to temper that aggression back, understand their limits, and understand that Vice can find these openings and make use of them.
Yeah. Well, 2 for 2 bounty rune trade. Very even kind of start. Zenki going to TP down to the bot lane to be with Palos on that Lifestealer. They will be up against Q's Clockwork as well as Nevermind on the Mars. Of course, they did pick the Lifestealer into the Mars, so this must be a kind of matchup that they do want to play into. I suppose with the fact that he is doing percentage-based damage with that lifesteal in the Lifestealer, he's not going to care quite as much about the shield of Nevermind. That may be the kind of idea behind it. Let's see how they do though. For now, it seems as though Zenki is going to have a pretty fun time just kind of harassing Nevermind out of the lane with these Frost Blasts.
And it's just the tricky part about having a dual melee lane up against something like a Lich. You're not really able to trade too well. I mean, Q does have Battery Assault ready. He has his brown boots, but he's not really finding the angle. And that's always going to be the hurting point here. Now, if you do get level 2, level 3 at a good time, we're talking about Cogs, Battery Assault, and a Spear coming out from Nevermind. Of course, the Cogs can set up for the Spear already, so there's not as much pressure in Nevermind to land it. I think you can have some opportunities to play aggressive. You will be mainly hunting Zenki, though, as Palace is a bit tanky. And if he gets a value point in Rage, you're not going to find anything there.
I just had a look over to the mid lane, John. Fearless already forcing out, or rather being forced to salve up on the Queen of Pain, so Already taking quite a bit of harassment here from Bob. Of course, this Kunkka is very, very hard to play into when you're in a 1v1 mid matchup. So it doesn't really lose many lanes. The Queen of Pain being one of those lanes, it still doesn't lose as dominant as she is in the lane. Look at this, Bob. Torrent connects, Tidebringer connects. Everything just lands perfectly here for the Kunkka and Fearless. He only salved up 30 seconds ago, but he's pretty much out of region now. He's just got a Fairy Fire left.
Yeah, and this is just such a smooth start up for Bob. Is ahead in last hits as well, as you mentioned. Fearless is just not as domineering. This is just one of those matchups where it's just so tricky. I mean, you can see just Bob constantly getting out the right spells. Torrent's going to miss, but this is enough to zone Fearless out, and he's going to need some backup when those power runes pop in, because his bottle's a long way off. Bob's going to find his at a really good time, and he's just playing on the edge to soak some EXP here.
Yeah, I mean, if Fearless sticks around much longer, he might just die to a Tidebringer hit. It's like he does have a set of tangos that did just come out for him, so he's going to stick around. Of course, for Bob, he just X-TPs back to the base and gets a full reset, connects another torrent, gets a Tidebringer off once again. And those tangos, they are not going to help enough. I mean, this is just a really poor start here for Fearless. It doesn't feel like it's going to get much better. It's like, Bob's not going to leave the lane anytime soon. He's more than happy to just stick around and just keep hitting away onto this Quap. I'm just not sure what Fearless can do about this. His only option is to bring out more regen, which is what he's doing, but he's not going to have a quick bottle up at this rate.
No, it's really stalled out. This is one thing as well where MG.Trust supports just can't help out. Like, Boombill is seemingly just playing around the jungle, trying to work his way down, perhaps. But look at the control from Samael. Just gets the stun off, and suddenly Boombill, what can he do? He's just going to have to TP back up top, but now he's low on HP, low on mana. And that just means he's not going to have as much presence in this lane.
Fearless, he got caught out once again by that Torrent John, and the Tidebringer hit from Bob was more than enough this time around. That'll be Bob getting first blood.
This is not the start you want for Fearless. Like, you need to snowball hard on that Quap. You've got Q around, hang around, but again, the supports just don't do much. This is just the weakness that we pointed out in draft. Like, they work well with their laning partners, but in terms of helping mid, it just really falls flat.
It's definitely not very good news for Motivate.Trust, at least for now. Just looking up towards that top lane, Savage going to be up against Enryu. You do have Boombill there on the Warlock, and you've also got Samael. How do you pronounce it, John?
Samael?
Samael. All right, Samael.
Yeah, yeah. Like
I don't
Azazel, except Samael.
The way I'm pronouncing it, it sounds too much like Sumail, which, you know, N.A. Sumail and Samael. I suppose that is, you know, the proper way to pronounce it.
Yeah, and as far as I know, that's how we pronounce it in the Philippines for some reason. I can see where you're coming from though. Still, it's been a smooth start for him, and just constantly landing these LSAs. Like, look at Boombill. What does he do with his Shadow Word? He just heals himself. He's not able to really harass anyone out, and even if he does, the press the attack just purges it off. So the presence of this Warlock is just not there.
Certainly is not. And he is healing up and keeping Savage very healthy. That is one positive of the Warlock, is you're probably not going to be able to really get through the PA with all these heals coming in. But apart from that, it's not like you're dishing out any form of damage here to Enryu on this Legion Commander, who is freely able to just stick around. However, looks like they have found Samael, and they will get the kill. Nice little rotation in from Q. That'll help set up. Only thing being that Boombill was the one to take the kill on the Warlock, but I suppose at this rate you just take what you can get.
That's what I say to my teammates when I do the same thing on the Warlock. So I know how it feels for him. He's having a good time. He's got level 3 on the Warlock. This is still a really rough start, but that kill does help them out. Still, that just allows Samael to rotate mid, get Bob a free refill without having to expend the X. You've got level 6 on Bob, boat ready to go if you wanted to play. And Fearless still about to hit 6. He's just, you look at the disparity in terms of last hits. 37-9 for Bob. 23-4 for Fearless. Just such a slow start for a Quap. Just not used to seeing that from the hero.
Well, Palos, he's looking to go into Nevermind here. Never mind. Open wounded up, but never mind. He's just going to go for a quick TP out. Nice little play from him. Meanwhile, top lane, Enryu going to be caught out there. Savage going to have to split the gold with the rest of his team, but they do get a very important pick off. That's going to allow Savage to just freely farm up now on this PA.
Yeah, they are giving Savage some space to catch up. So they're trying to relieve that pressure on the PA, correcting their mistakes from game 1, where Savage just had too hard of a lane. He is number 3 in that word, so he's not lagging too far behind. We're still at 6.5 minutes in, so there's a lot of room to grow, but Vice is not really scared at all. They know the EXP is being split hard here, and they're getting some good levels anyway on Enryu and Samael. So all these rotations out from Q is just opening up the bot lane and really taking away the EXP that both supports want to get. The Warlock
Mid
and
lane.
Clock.
Bob just fighting 2 people at once. He kills off Q, and now he's after Fearless. He does have a blink available, though, and Bob is not going to be able to hold him down. More TPs coming. In fact, Savage is the one who has the TP. Blink strikes up onto Bob. Bob still has the DD room, but he's just going to go for a torrent TP out, and he's going to be just fine as now they try to go into Zenki instead, and they will get him. But Zenki actually blocked the spear off.
Oh, man.
He blocked
Yeah,
the spear, so they couldn't cancel the TP of the Kunkka.
That's definitely tip-worthy, and you know they're just opening so much space. They may be behind in kills, Vice, but look at the net worth lead. 3K sub 10 minutes in. Pilots at level 6, and Nevermind at level 4. Just Q leaving that lane made it unplayable for Nevermind.
Palos can get caught out here. This could be a massive pick-off if they can get it. Palos trying to just man-fight back, but there is the spear coming out. Still with the Frost Shield being placed on Palos. It looks like he feels confident to just go back in after Nevermind, and he might just find the kill. Nevermind just holding the shield up. It is not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Savage going after the Lich. Zenki is also going to drop. Palos still fighting. Go back after Savage. Tip coming out from Palos midway through this little team fight. Bob misses out on the Tidebringer hit onto 23 Savage, and with the blur, he is going to be able to juke away from this Life Stealer and go for a quick TP out.
It's really messy when you have your PA having to run around to relieve some pressure on the map. 3-4, the lead is wider now for Vice at 4K of an advantage. The only hero finding farm from MG.Trust is Savage. Just somehow, he's kind of keeping up with Enryu. Fearless is just so far behind at 2.3. Nevermind is as farmed as the support Lina. So Samael again off to a fantastic start. He's built up stacks for his course to clear out. Whereas the same can't be said for MG.Trust. They're just so busy trying to respond around the map, they can't build any resources out.
Dual top lane, they have found out Nevermind. Damage is not going to be there to really kill him off during the duel, but Palos can just keep chasing him down like this. Nevermind gets a God's Rebuke off. Enryu still on the chase, wants to try and find where this Mars is, but it looks like Nevermind is going to be able to get away. However, Fearless now going to be in a spot of bother. Q going to come in to try and help out. They do land the spear onto the cogs with a great Sonic Wave out from Fearless. They will get one, but meanwhile 23 Savage does end up dying to Bob. That is not a worthwhile trade at all. Boombill will probably also go down, and yeah, Bob just gets another one on this Kunkka.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It is.
4-0, sub 10 minutes in, 6K lead for Vice. This is a huge beating onto MG.Trust. Like they're even on kills, but the map is just not their direction. Their mid being pressured in now as well. They're gonna need to defend. Once you lose this mid tower, the roaming in the jungle is not gonna end.
What in the hell is happening? T1 tower gonna go down. It's just very unusual, John.
Yeah, this is not the MG.Trust we're used to seeing, right? Like they've been gutted two players. It's I don't know.
And we know that, but in terms of the players on MG.Trust right now, we've watched them for a very long time, and we know how they perform. And this is not really it. Still Q going to be able to get a kill onto Zenki, and now maybe with Palos being trapped up, they'll get another. And that's a bit more like it. I'm just not used to seeing these players on MG.Trust being so passive and waiting for Vice to come to them.
Yeah, they're just not grabbing that opportunity. I think now that you have level 6 on Q, you could probably work this map a little bit more with your clock and with your Quap. Fearless has gotten some space to clear out some stacks as well. He is opting for the Yule's Quap, so it's a defensive pain buildup, which it's also not the best sign, but at this point you will need any item you can pick up. That's going to allow them to at least dodge out some control, maybe bait out the Torrent and the X as well. So you've got some options there for MG.Trust to start running around. The Savage is still a ways off from the Battle Fury on the PA, which is really the biggest issue here, that your PA is the #1 farm. It's still kind of keeping up with the offlane Legion Commander.
Oh, never
and
mind.
I say that very loosely. Ooh.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Bo gonna fly in to finish him off. Bob picking up his 5th kill of the game now in the Kunkka. And they are looking to get a tier 2 tower pushed in before that 20-minute mark. And I say before 20 minutes, John, we're only 12 minutes into the game. So they've got plenty of time. There's no rush, boys. Take it easy. Meanwhile, mid lane, Jewel going to come out onto Fearless, but the Golem is going to be dropped to save the day. Torrent, LSA, all of it lands. They kill off Fearless. Q now still just moving forward with the Golem behind him, trying to get something back. They kill off some AL, but it just doesn't feel worth it. And now the Chain Frost going to be thrown out, trying to make sure they can't keep the chase up. Savage will go after Zenki and does end up getting the kill. Now Bob looking to turn back around onto Savage, gets an X off, but Savage trying to go for the man fight. And Ryu is also there. Arena going to be dropped by Nevermind to try and hold them back from following up. And Ryu, he's going to go back in. He has a blink up. Can he do it by himself, though? Savage going to jump back in, trying to go after the LC now, but not getting lucky with any form of a crit. Kalos, get pushed back with the Cogs. Q. He's going to be able to walk away. Bob has the boat back up, however. Savage, got to be careful about how he goes into this. Jewel going to be up in the back lines. Bob in trouble, does go down. They commit the Sonic Wave, and Savage is able to take the kill. Now what do? He jumps onto Zenki instead, trying to go after the Lich, but no, the Laguna Blade out from Samael does kill him off, and now Enryu is going to chase down Fearless once again on the Queen of Pain. He should be able to blink away from this, and he does. And it's another real messy team fight. But it seems to sort of go in the favor of Motivate.Trust just based off the gold change. I say that, though, losing your +1 PA again is definitely not going to feel very good. Especially when Palos is still on the map farming.
Yeah, it's an even trade on paper, but you dropped your PA, that's already a bit of a loss. Like, Palos is just building up ahead. The Battle Fury for Savage is further delayed once more, whereas Palos is already building into the MKB. Has the Javelin up, just lacks a lot more of the parts, but once that's up, the PA is just super vulnerable. Like, you are not dodging any attacks from this Lifestealer, and you lose that spike in the PA. Now, Vice has to be a bit careful. Bleeding out Bob, that's a massive pickup for MG.Trust earlier on, but they still maintain a 7k lead, Vice. So they've got a lot more ground to cover. Savage is trying to split push the bot lane. This is going to be the first objective for Vice, and it looks like Vice might let that go, but they are smoked up and working their way down bot anyway.
Well, Vice just seem like they want to fight. They do not seem to care whatsoever. They just keep running at Motivate.Trust, and now with the Jewel up, they go for the quick, easy Jewel onto the Warlock, and that'll be another Jewel victory out for Enryu on this LC. There's just no form of follow-up here for Motivate right now. They're kind of just stuck, waiting for this PA to be up and running. Book, not going to be there in time from Q. Now it does come out, but Samael is going to be there to help out, and with the Chain Frost, they still get the kill on the Lich. And now the Arena to be dropped as well. They'll find another. Enryu rushing in onto Q. Does kill off the Clockwork. It's definitely a positive trade there, unless they lose Savage on the PA, and Bob is on top right now. Savage needs a Blink Strike target. He has his mask coming in. He's trying to get close. He will get away. No, he won't. Bob ends up getting the kill again. I'm not sure where the damage came from. I believe it may have been the Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, it's just the last tick in the vessel, and Oh man, MG.Trust. That just again undoes what they just gained from that exchange down bot. Savage again, Battle Fury timing delayed furthermore. 16 minutes in. It's not necessarily a slow timer, but it's just way too slow for them to compensate for this 9k loss. Not gaining anything on your other course, and they're still going up top.
Yeah, well, mid lane, they've got a duel off right now onto Fearless, and it looks like they are going to have the damage eventually to take him out, but Savage just jumps in. He's been X'd up, however. Do they have a boat? Not quite. In fact, they didn't even have a torrent available, but look at Bob. Just look at him run at the PA underneath the tier 2 tower. No respect being paid whatsoever. And I can't blame him. They've got a 10k net worth lead. There's no reason to pay respects.
No, they're just still keeping up that wreck that they have maintained. There is a Warlock Golem dropped here from Boombell if they want to fight, but my issue is there's just no follow-up. Like, there's a Blade Mail up now on Enryu, so he can reflect a lot of the damage Savage is doing. I'd say Enryu should keep his eyes out for the PA, aim to duel the PA, and just let her kill herself.
Cogs are out. Looks like Q is going to cop a boat to the face. Does go down. And they even found Boombell. Both supports going down here. And Vice. It looks like it's about time for them to go back up towards that top tier 2 tower. They definitely want to try and take that dire side outpost away from Motivate.Trust and just extend their lead. And they may just get away with it. Glyph will be popped, it'll delay things, but there is a creep wave on the way. And Vice, they are not backing off. They really want this. Fearless, gonna jump in for the Yules. Never mind, goes for the spear back, but it looks like Bob is still gonna be alive for now. He has a regen rune and he will pop it, but Boombell drops the golem. Q getting low to Enryu, might just drop here, and it looks like he will eventually die. Meanwhile, Bob just trying to run. The Infest keeps him healthy. Never mind, now the one in danger. Ooh. The jewel comes out from Enryu. They just take another one out. And they have the boat back up in 5 seconds. They can go again.
Oh man, it's a mess for MG.Trust. Like, I was talking about the Warlock Golem ready. The follow-up's really just not enough. Like,
Savage.
Arena comes down, your damage is not enough.
Savage, don't get... Oh, he's been X'd up. Boat's gonna fly in. I don't believe the boat's gonna be enough, but with the follow-up that's coming in, they do have plenty of damage, and Bob is just rubbing salt into the wounds of 23 Savage. This is rough.
Oh yeah, it's it feels like a repeat of game 1. 13k lead at 18 minutes in. They're finding every single farm item here on every single hero for Vice. We're looking at the MKB flying out now for Paolo, so there it is. He's got a wave just ripping through the PA. You've even got the Heaven's Halberd up on Bob, so if you catch Savage out, you can disarm them. And they've just caught control. Look at Enryu.
Yeah, Q's gonna die. Another duel victory coming out from Enryu. And I feel like a broken record, but this is complete domination. Top lane, Zenki. Even Zenki's trying to chase down Fearless now, John. The Pos 5 Lich is looking for the Quap. He won't find him. It's just such a weird sight to see. A position 5 Lich chasing down a Pos 2 Queen of Pain. He will spot him out now. I don't believe he can do it himself, but he does have Samael coming in. And that would probably be enough. But Fearless, he will blink into the high ground of the Radiant. Korea is going to fly past. I don't believe it gave vision. Fearless jumps back into Zenki. A weird set of events here. They smoke up now. Zenki, he's not done yet. He wants this kill. Meanwhile, towards the top, they find another. Boombell goes down. LSA not going to land on to Fearless. Laguna is available. He wants to pop it. Samael not going to be able to find out that Quap. Meanwhile, towards the north, Nevermind has been caught out. Enryu with 100 duel damage at 20 minutes in, trying to chase down Q. He won't take down the clock, but 16k worth of a net worth lead at 20 minutes.
Oh man, they're just digging into the high ground as 2 heroes. Like this map is so split up. 2 heroes down mid, getting a push off. There's a 3-man defense. There's a golem drop.
Fearless, Sonic Wave gonna be great. They do kill off Palos. It's a big pickup there. That is really only due to the fact that Palos had overextended, right? Like, it's not... If this was a 5v5 team fight, would you be able to do the same thing right now? Probably not.
No, definitely not. Not with the boat in play, not with the control and durability Vice has for the rest of your team. MG.Trust, that was also the golem drop. So Boombelt's not going to have the golems for 2 minutes. That's a huge opening for Vice to run around. Use the lack of control and just start to build up. And oh god.
Yeah, with that dual damage that Enry already has, you don't even need the help now. Fearless gets caught out by that duel. He is guaranteed to die. Enryu up to plus 120. He is hitting very hard.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. We don't tend to see that good of a start for LCs, but Enryu in this game and Enry in the last game as well just works that off lane really well, and MG.Trust has no response. They go straight into the Roche as well as 2. Bob and Palos securing the safe objective first. Not the fastest, not as fast without the minus armor, but it still goes relatively quick, and MG.Trust just no information on the map. All their wards are under bot triangle, so the Roche is just going to go for free.
I mean, Vice look like they're playing a pub game right now. That's what it feels like. They don't seem concerned whatsoever about timings or anything like that. Bot lane, Enryu just solo kills off Savage. I mean, I look away for a second, Enryu's suddenly killing off Savage. By himself.
Q?
Yeah. Blade Mail is going to help him out. Q trying to just get some form of a trade here. Enryu, he's just going to walk away with his Shadow Blade, and now the Cavalry's here. They found out Boombell. The Bone's going to fly in onto Nevermind, who's been X'd up. They've got both of them under control. There's your Laguna out. They take down the Mars. They'll go after Q. Poor old Boombell's just sitting there in the Shadow Amulet, hoping they forget about him. And meanwhile, Bob just keeps chasing on to Q. Boombell does eventually die. Meanwhile, Palos just solo pushing the mid-racks. I mean, do you just have to call this? Savage is going to try. Palos going to turn around with an MKB up. Sonic Wave out. Hookshot is great. Q does kill off Enryu. Bob is going to be targeted. He does not have the boat. This could be a good opportunity for them. Arena is going to take down one of Palos. We'll lose the Aegis. Maybe this is their time. Palos now going to go back around. Samael dropping very, very low, and that should be his death as well. Palos will turn back onto Q. He does have the Lich coming in to try and help out. Q will just TP out right in front of him. And so once again, Motivate do successfully manage to punish Vice Esports on their own high ground. As you can see, John, the Golden XP is kind of insane when they do get these pickoffs. But when it's not on their high ground, they just fall apart.
Yeah, and that was very fortunate for MG.Trust. Vice, again, were sort of split up. I think Vice have to reel in that aggression a bit in the high ground. They tend to split their focus when they're taking these objectives. So there is some punishment coming out from MG.Trust. But there's still a lot of ground to cover here. 15k lead coming out for Vice. Savage still 2k behind the next core. You still need his PA to get the BKB up and the Desolator up, of course. So we'll see how long it takes Savage as he is being surrounded.
Savage. Jewel is going to be there.
Oh.
Golem? No, it's not going to be enough. It's just not. Gaze out from Zenki. That'll mean Boombell's going to drop. Chain Frost just in case, just to make sure he dies. At this point, you start to feel like Vice is just sending a message.
Yeah, it feels like it. They've had their eyes set to pachinko out the Golem for a long time. They've really just thrown it out every single time they see the Golem. They're like, we want that 100 gold. We throw it out. They take the mid racks. I don't know what MG.Trust does here. No Golem drop. They've got Arena. Doesn't feel like it's enough even with Sonic Wave.
I believe the game's over, quite frankly. I mean, it was probably over minimum 5 minutes ago, just by how this game's gone. You know me, John, I don't like to call things early, but...
Yeah, nah. I get the sentiment. It's not a good look. 20k behind.
Dota Plus is still giving them 3%, 2%. I guess that's the PA effect.
Possibly. Savage is really just on the cusp of finishing up Desolator. So we're talking about 200 gold here. 60 gold now. There it is. He's got the gold. That will leave him without buyback. At this point, I don't know if you even want to save for buyback in your PA, considering that he kind of tickles right now. So I think they've got to take this risk. And you can see Vice, they're just hunting. Running around the map, just looking for something to kill.
Yeah, Bob. And Boombill gonna avoid Bob for now. There's your Desolator now being picked up by Savage. Doesn't really feel like it's gonna be anywhere near enough, but it's a start. And they're holding on. That's one thing. Bob. Let's find Boombill. Torrent is gonna land and he gets the X off now. And he'll happily throw out the boat. Boombill, Limit Cape will wear off and he's just gone. Hookshot.
Oh.
Q is going to hookshot onto a creep. They're still going to jump in while this boat is down. Savage has jumped into the back lines, does kill off Samael, and now we'll go after Zenki. They do get those kills. Meanwhile, Bob is being chased down once again. Zenki's going to buy back on that Lich. This could be dangerous for the side of Vice, as now Palos has jumped out of the infested LC, and they're going to fight even more now. Savage, however, is dropping low and does end up dying to Palos. But still a great team fight here for Motivate.Trust. And it seems as though every time that boat is on cooldown is the time that Motivate wants to go and fight. It's absolutely fair enough. So with that boat run, it just seems impossible.
I think Vice right now, again, they're splitting their targets a bit too much. They're running around way too split up. They don't have anything big to worry about besides Golem drop in Arena, which even the Arena is not the biggest thing if you're stuck inside. I think they've got to play his team all built.
Well, he wants to die back on Senki, and Palos literally just ignores Senki. Just lets him die. I mean, maybe that's just how confident they are. They're just like, screw it, let him die. He'll be alright.
Yeah. That's the smarter play, as it would leave Palos vulnerable. He has no backup. They are giving these kills that don't necessarily have to be given out, although Fearless...
Well, they don't have the X up, so Fearless is going to be able to blink away. TP is coming in, though, from that LC, and that is a very, very scary kind of thing to have to run into, but Fearless wisely does run the other way. So not running straight up north. He's going to go towards the west and try to creep skip, but that's going to give... Oh, and he's blinked straight into him. Gets the Yules off. We'll have a blink in another second, and Enryu will not make it in time, but you know... Oh, Fearless, that was very greedy, sir. Jewel is going to be there. He doesn't seem to have... I don't know, he does. He has enough damage. Boombill now trying to go for some D wards out. Is going to die, and Palos will take care of those wards for him.
Yeah, that's... I mean, Fearless is just doing his best trying to split push, but it's a bit keen. Enryu, a bit unlucky with not getting too many Moment of Courage procs. Doesn't matter, he finds a kill in the end. They're going to be lining up for this last Rax bot, shoving the creeps in top and mid. They're going to look for the objective. There is a Warlock Golem, though. They need their entire force here, nicely spread out enough to get this damage in, but it should just melt. Enryu just hits way too hard for this.
Yeah, I mean, plus 190 dual damage. He's hitting hard, all right. That'll be hook shot in. Q, this could be the last-ditch attempt to try and defend. Arena and Spear both going to be dropped. They are still lacking their Queen of Pain, however. Palos is literally ignoring everyone, including Q, who was 2 hits away from dying. and he's just hitting rats.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Jewel going to come out, and it is going to be straight onto that Mars. He is slowly but surely dropping. They will not get the bonus Jewel damage, but they get the kill into Savage. He gets caught out as well. Golem will be dropped, and they will commit the buybacks, trying to fight back. Fearless, he'll respawn as well, so they'll go into the cogs. But Q's already dead. Maybe they get the LC here. The Sonic Wave out. Fearless does clean him up. Palos, meanwhile, still just fighting. Goes after Nevermind, but the Glimmer Cape is going to save his life. Fearless still going. Does kill off the Lina now. Samael does go down. Into the spear, onto Bob with the hook shot. Not going to land on the Kunkka. Palos, having a look for Fearless. He's going to find him, but Fearless just has eyes for Bob. Now they've both been slowed up, but Palos goes for the Infest, heals him up a little bit. Back onto Nevermind now. Nevermind might just die back here on this Mars, and it looks like he will, with no choice in the matter, onto Q now, who's just trying to survive. Will eat the Greater Fairy Fire, and will just run. Boom Bill, meanwhile, is just trying to run away from this creep wave. So, he was about to die to the creeps. Palos will spot him out. Hookshot is going to be there from Q, but he may have just signed his own death warrant. Chain Frost out. Oh, Fearless, that's a lot of damage coming out.
No,
it just keeps bouncing as well. It kills off Boom Bill. Palos just still chasing. What is this game, John?
Oh, that was
this?
sad. That was sad. See, that Pachinko bounce, man.
That's a report.
That is just, yeah, that's a bit of a report. MG.Trust, Mega creeps up, 22k down. I do not know what they want to do here. They've got a Golem in a minute. Maybe that's their last stand. I don't know if they have any fresh items coming in. It looks like Ags for Savage is done. There you go. So he's got stats. He's got refresh on his skills if he finds a kill. This could be nice. Roche is up, though. Vice have pinged it aggressively. They want to go into the Roche. They want to get that objective out. Aegis Cheese ready to be taken. Still some nice items being picked up. Q has Ags, so perhaps the control from the clock is going to be enough. But this Roche is not going to last too long.
They look good at the Roche.
I mean, Samael does have Ags, so it's fine, right?
I guess so. I mean, it's not like they're going to wait the 40 seconds, though. That's the thing, John. They're just going to run at the high ground again.
Oh, yeah.
Vice is just so confident. I can't blame them, but it's... You don't see this very often. Look at Enryu. He's just going to pick in. Gets an easy duel off, and they're just going to go for the Ancient. Hookshot in. Q just has to react. Spear's going to be out in the arena. Palos, meanwhile, taking care of the backlines, does look for Q. And Ryu still just trying to go for the Ancient. Meanwhile, Bob trying to deal with Savage, does kill him off on the PA. No buybacks left. Fearless on the Quap. They are going to call the GG. They have had enough. And I'm not sure whether Vice is playing really well or Motivate is just not playing well at all. But props to Vice, John. We know these plays from Motivate. It is very unusual for them to have games that look like this.
Yep. I think that's been the story of MG.Trust since the roster shakeups. It's looked a bit wobbly. Props to Vice. I think it's a mix of both. Vice played really well. I don't think we can take that away. Their lanes, their drafts with this Lina-centric offlane as the 4. Lina Slardar, Lina LC have been really dominant, really hard to play against. They know the limits of that kind of lineup. They do a lot of work with it. MG.Trust could not respond. At the same time, MG.Trust were playing suboptimal. Like in the first game, remember when Savage died, TP'd in, died again, and just kind of bashed their heads against a wall. Their coordination wasn't quite up to snuff. So there's some factors there for MG.Trust to look back upon, kind of correct. With Vice Esports, they definitely show up today. That's their first actual full series win. So that should drag them up in the placement a bit and, of course, give them a bit of a morale boost going into the end of groups here.
I mean, they looked fantastic. I hope that they keep up these kind of performances over the next couple days. Anyway, though, John, that is it for us tonight. It's been a pretty fun night. First day, of course, we did have a few technical issues, as is pretty standard stuff for us. But hopefully tomorrow everything will be resolved. And, well, with that, I'm sure you want to go to sleep, John, and so do I. So, it's MLP Dota, it's JohnXFire. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you all again tomorrow for some more great SEO Dota. See you then.